Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Happy Catty Crypto here. So everybody's asking what's going on with Terra Rebels, what's currently happening, where did the money go, and things like that across the board. So one thing to note at the moment is that from what we can make out and from what is being said and from the questions that I've asked, it seems Tobias is, like I stated yesterday, he was very adamant in saying his position in Terra Rebels, not in the community. And he's simply going to be focusing his time on L1 and to let TR grow on a path of its own. And there's also another screenshot floating about where somebody asks Tobias, does he feel TR is heading in the wrong direction? He simply replies, yes. And it's pretty obvious to everybody right now that TR just really are ignoring the community. They're acting as if none of us exist and just going about what they are doing. The biggest thing right now for people to take in and absorb is that $150,000 is gone. And unless they decide themselves that they want to return it, it will not be getting returned. And it's been distributed out from what we've been made aware to all of the different moderators and people that play key roles inside the Discord group. So at what point is this gone towards funding anything to do with moving LUNC towards higher highs and higher lows, so to speak? But you know, it's so confusing for a lot of people. There's a tweet that's been put out about Tobias teaming up with Ed, and I think this is true that they are possibly looking to team up and create a L1 development team that can really excel LUNC to the future that it needs. But there's so many different things that come with this, because if he is teaming up with Edward Kim, then this is all. So we currently have a big issue, right, with this whole like people will vote on things that they will directly benefit from, and there's like a compromise with things. You become compromised in a sense, and you treat certain things differently to how they should be treated for the specific fact that you're going to prosper and things like that from it. So then later on this could raise concerns as to, well, hang on a minute, Edward Kim runs the Terra Foundation grant scheme, and he's also running LUNC. Does this not contradict one another? Is it just not one compromise solely of everything? So these are questions we need to ask, because currently what you're seeing is on any kind of proposals, as people not treating them as jokes, obviously. If we go to past and we look at who voted for this, there's a conflict of interest, because we have so many different validators that voted yes, and then also validators inside Terra Rebels that have voted yes to directly benefit from this. And it was a considerable amount of money. We did vote no for this, and we voted no even with the vote being lost, even with our no being very tiny compared to the rest of the vote. But now where we're sitting and everybody kind of saying, well, you know, how has this happened? And it's simple. There's too much voting power with validators that have zero input in the community, so they don't understand what's going on. They saw it was a Terra Rebels proposal and they thought, we will vote yes for it. It's the best thing that we can do right now, because we just don't know enough, but we trust Terra Rebels. And this is definitely something across the board, because anybody who is actually heavily involved with this and knew the consequences of what voting yes to this means, they would have voted no. They really would have. No one in their right mind would pay for a house before it's built. You would pay after it's built. That's just simply how it works. You want to make sure you are getting exactly what you're supposed to be paying for, right? There you go. Now, where is this all heading? Well, what it looks like currently is there's factions being divided, and there's now an opportunity for what it looks like for a new group to take control of the L1 development of LUNC. Does that mean Terra Rebels don't have a future? Well, no, not necessarily, because from what we're seeing is they're currently collaborating with Ed to bring V23, which has already been delivered, and they're still collaborating to get all of the L1 parity upgrades done with Edward Kim for the process. But it's it's so confusing for the community right now, and people are asking, where did the money go? If you go and watch our video that we did yesterday, the podcast episode with me and Strafe, we go through exactly where the money's gone. And there's 10 members that were paid in Terra Rebels. There's 10 Terra Rebels members left because they've been sacking people off in a sense. And there was 10 individual payments. So we know where the money's gone. We know exactly how much each one got. And it just seems like we're paying for a chat group right now. That's how it literally looks. It feels and looks like one big, huge rug. Like we just paid $150,000 for something that we already have and we just do not need. Look how well Terra Station runs. And the only excuse there's ever been is, oh, there's a security issue with it because we don't have the keys. Well, you could get the keys. So there's just so many more causes for concern right now and so many people stressing out. And this really is one big example as to the voting power just being so poorly distributed that people who actually could make a difference if they did vote just won't vote because their voting power is so small. They're insignificant. It doesn't mean anything. And ultimately, the top validators can have a say and sway because we still have around 83 validators that are not voting currently because they feel they don't know enough about it. So they're just simply not going to vote. And we just need more validators to be more involved. But then there's a huge conflict right now where a lot of these validators, especially the big ones, are actually on the Lunar chain and they're doing a lot of their work over there. And to dedicate time and manpower to the Lunar Classic chain to be involved with it costs money for them because they're well inset businesses and projects. And it's always important to understand what voting power is and what it does. And if you go over and look at Lunar at how well the voting power is distributed, the top validators laughing over here because they really are making a killing. Obviously, all nodes will be burning till the end of the year, then that stops. Hopefully they keep their commission at 5% because 0% commission rates are exactly how this all started to begin with. They'll set their commission rates to 0 for some time at the beginning of nodes coming online again. And then as time goes on, they bring their commissions up in the hope to keep as much of their staked coins as they can, and thus giving them a considerable amount of voting power. And it's just dangerous. It's so dangerous for us as a community to not have the people who are doing so much work in the community to not actually be able to affect a governance proposal. And we are seeing lobbying, and we've done a bit of research. And if you go into the top nodes on our validators list, you'll see that just loads of these nodes down here, they're like ghost nodes. Like people don't know half of these nodes. It's very easy for you to create a node and then jump straight into the active set because the entry right now is 20 LUNC. So you would just have to have delegated with you more than 20 LUNC to enter the active set. You would then knock the 130th validator out. You would then join. So it's very easy for a collective to spin up a posse of nodes and they'd use them to ghost vote on everything, making it look like lots of the validators are actually getting involved in this when they aren't. And you'll notice with a lot of these little nodes, they've got so many different things they're missing because they're ghost nodes. You put the most minimum amount of effort into it that you can. And there's so many causes for concern right now as to how the votes go and who's voting, who's not voting, who's involved, who's not involved. And we really need a good direction. And you know, there's loads of people that think, as weird as it is to say, and there's just so many different people now who say we need a leader, but I think we need a direction. I think we've lost our direction. Lots of things have been forgotten as to what made us very strong as a coin to begin with. The burn incentive has more or less been chucked out the window by a lot of people as if, you know, well, we don't need to burn coins and we shouldn't be focusing on burning coins. Well, hold up. We have coins to burn and we need to burn them. We should be making as much benefit as we can from that to draw people in, because there's a good way to look at things like you can create a template as to how other coins need to burn in the future. So it's very important to understand exactly what made us strong to begin with, where we've lost our way and how we can get back on track. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think, how we can get back on track. What do you think the solutions are to this? Do you think that this new L1 development team is the solution to everything? Do you think we need a leader? Let us know what you think. Stay safe. Beware of scammers. Beware of doppelgangers. Beware of anybody pretending to be me. None of this is financial advice, and I'll catch you in the next one.